You are tuning in to the You Are Loved podcast, where we hope to bring love and kindness to the world. You are tuning in to the You Are Loved podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the You Are Loved podcast. So excited to have amazing Bianca join me today. And so Bianca and I have known each other for quite a long time. And I don't know if it was me or whatever, but kind of wrapped her into the whole virtual assistant stuff. She met her through Fiverr back in the day. And then she helped me with my Zoho, which I actually still use today, actually. So welcome, Bianca. How are you doing?
Thank you, Jacqueline. I'm good. I'm very excited to be on the podcast with you.
Good. Me too. So, okay. So I just want to read a little bit of your bio. Okay. So Bianca is a virtual assistant coach from Johannesburg, South Africa, who specializes in helping moms start their own VA business without confusion or overwhelming. After building her own successful VA business, generating seven figures annually, Bianca launched her Be a VA coaching program to empower other moms to create thriving businesses from home. In addition to coaching, she helps clients hire qualified virtual assistants who've been through her program. A proud mom, animal lover, coffee enthusiast, and type 1 diabetic, Bianca is passionate about work-life balance and financial independence. So that's beautiful, Bianca.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell me like what's been going on. Like, so you started your virtual business and you've had a lot happening. So like just share a little bit of your story, please.
There's been so much that's happened, Jacqueline, since back in our Fiverr days, like you've mentioned. So that was around 2015, 2016. And when I started on Fiverr, I didn't know anything about the whole virtual assistant side. And I actually had another VA tell me, listen, Bianca, the stuff that you're doing is actually something called a virtual assistant work, and it's not just freelancing. So that got my mind spinning into actually looking into it further. And like they say, the rest is history. Jacqueline was you were my number one cheerleader, let's put it that way. You always pushed me to do more than just VA things. So that's where the coaching side came in. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of information in South Africa about virtual assistants and working from home, the whole remote working and things like that. Obviously, with COVID, all of that changed. Everybody is now a little bit more used to it. But back then, people didn't know what it was. My mom also kept telling me, she's like, every time somebody asked her, what does your daughter do? She didn't know how to reply because even though she knew what I did, her trying to explain it to somebody else, they just wouldn't understand. And I started my BAVA coaching in the end of 2019, and to date there has been over 114 moms that have actually gone through my program. They have started their own virtual assistant businesses, and some of them have also hit the 6 to 7 figure annual mark. And that is what fuels me to keep doing what I'm doing. I became a mom myself in 2022, and I think that's when I found my passion. Even though virtual assistants and teaching South Africans how to start their own VA business, moms, I think it just I just felt it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I was in it myself, and I have a team of 3 other moms that work with me, and it's just so relatable. Things that they go through, things that I go through, just trying to juggle everything that you go through during the day. And I find working from home gives me the freedom to be a mom, gives me the freedom to work when I want to work, meaning I don't need to take time off work if it's a doctor's appointment, if it's going to the gym, going on holiday, whatever the case may be. I'm in charge of that. And that's just so exciting. And I want other people to know that. I want them to experience not just the financial freedom, but the time freedom of actually spending time with their kids.
Yeah.
So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's exciting. So, are you still doing VA work, or do you outsource that now to the VAs in your network?
I do a bit of both. So I do still do VA work myself. I have actually relooked or relaunched it, and I'm now targeting service-based businesses, and it's more of I suppose a specialized niche in terms of what we actually what's the word I'm looking for? The services that we offer. So it's service-based businesses, and we assist them with things like invoicing, inquiries that come in, social media management, operations, very basic admin, and then Facebook ad campaigns as well. So my team and I have we've just launched it this week. Everything's not quite ready yet, but we're very excited to get that going. So I'm doing that. I'm doing the VA coaching, and I actually connect VAs and clients together as well. So there's 3 sides to my business.
That's great. That's awesome. Now, are you still working with Marquel and his team?
Yes, I
Okay.
am. So I've been with him since January 2018.
Okay. Yep. Oh, on that part, because I know I'm connected to you guys like back in what, like 16, 17 or something like that. And then when was it that you came to the States? Was it after COVID or pre-COVID?
It was supposed to be pre-COVID, but it happened. We
It's just like
went.
last year or something, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
The
Yeah,
time's kind of a blur, you know?
it is. It is. Everything after COVID just doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. So, okay, well, that's exciting. Yeah. And then I think you got promoted to like operations manager or something like that for
Yeah.
his company, which was super exciting. How was it coming to the States, like in Atlanta? Like, was it like a culture shock? Like, and how long were you here for? And so, yeah.
So I don't think it was as much of a culture shock as what you would think. And I say that because a lot of what we see on television is exactly the same as experiencing it in real life. I think there were 2 things that stood out to me the most. One was you guys drive on the other side of the road versus what we do, so that was just a little bit different. And your food was also very different to what we used to.
Probably less healthy, I'm sure, here than it
A
is
little.
in South Africa. Yeah, way more
Yeah.
processed, less healthy, a lot
Yeah.
more sodium and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. And,
yeah.
and the tastes were just different. It's
Like bad, or did it taste like more chemically? Like it had more chemicals and stuff like that, or
I think it was more chemically.
yeah.
Because I've been in the UK and Japan. And even in the UK, the meat is completely different to ours. So I don't know. Each country is just different.
And so, like in South Africa, does it taste like more fresh food and
Yeah,
stuff? Is it? Yeah, that's
yeah,
great. You probably
yeah.
have that. South Africa probably deals with less cancer and stuff like that as well.
Well, I don't know the stats on that, but
Yeah.
it could be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
so with that, and then so how long were you here for?
We were there for We went twice. So in March, we were there for, I think it was about 8 days, 9 days. And
Uh-huh.
then in September, we were there for 9 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you came back in September of last year.
Last year. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
So the first time it was just myself and my partner that went, and my baby was 3 months at the time. We were in the Uber on the way to the airport, and I wanted to turn around. I was in tears. Um, but it was nice also just to get a bit of a break from a newborn baby and just to get to sleep a little. And then when we went in September, it was a whole team. So it was my team of four, my little one that was 9 months, and then my partner as well. So it was quite a good team.
That's awesome. How
Yeah.
exciting. And
Mm.
so, if you could provide any tips for, like, because you help a lot of business owners, and I'm sure that you help moms out as well that are business owners, not VAs that need a VA, right?
Mhm.
Or that are taking care of family and so forth. So, what are probably a couple tips or suggestions that you can provide to business owners of why like a VA would really help them, because I find working with other people helps leverage my time, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Definitely. So I know the number one thing that business owners struggle with when they start working with the VA is not wanting to hand things over to their VA. And there's numerous reasons for that. One being they're too scared that the VA is not going to work as well as what they do on their business. The second one is they don't know how to hand it over. So there's a lot of ways around that as well. One of the best ways that I always recommend is actually doing Loom videos for the VAs that you hire, so that you're not actually sitting in training like majority of the day. You can record the explainer video, you can then send it to the VA. They can watch it, they can rewatch it. There's captions in there as well if you're not sure what the client is saying. So there's a lot of in doing that alone is saving both the VA and the client time in the whole training process. Um, and even if it's simple things like how you want your calendar organized or how you want your emails to be synchronized in certain folders, I mean, you could do a simple 2 minute Loom video on that. Then you don't
Loom
have to
is great.
schedule, yeah,
Yeah.
then you don't have to schedule a call to do that. Um, so that's one thing that I always recommend. And the second thing is always communicate with your VA. Don't assume that they know, because what the VA knows and how they do certain things is not necessarily how the client wants things done. So always just communicate with the VA. So that's another tip. The third tip I would say is just to just to treat them as a person, because I know there's a lot of business owners and VAs that obviously complain about each other, but it's people that you're working with, and people will always be people. It's one of the favorite sayings that I have, and you just need to train them, just be patient with them. It takes a little bit of time for them to get used to your business, for you to get used to the VA, and just be nice.
Yeah.
So those are the top three tips that I would give.
Okay. Yeah. Be kind.
Yeah,
That's probably
yeah.
at the top. And then communication. I find that when I like just recently had this VA that I had to um terminate my relationship with her because she just was not great at communicating and getting tasks done on a timely manner. And so I think from a business owner standpoint also is providing the right type of uh level of expectations of
Yes,
time frame
yes.
expectations, and don't just leave it up there, because my in my mind I'm just like, yeah, I just need to get this done, and then I won't give a time frame, and then it'll take forever, and I'll be like, how come this wasn't done the next day,
Hmm.
in my
Hmm.
mind. So yeah.
Yeah, and
So
and just on that, Jacqueline, as well. Um, it may seem like a simple task for the client to do, but if it's quite a complicated process and there's a lot of pieces that are involved, that task might actually take twice as long as what the client thinks it might. So that's also just something to consider.
Mm. And especially if it's something new that the VA is learning as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So yeah. And so with being pulled in a lot of different directions, because you have three different parts of your business, okay?
Mhm.
And you are a mom and you're in a relationship and you have your family that you're very close with. And then you have this other business that you have with Marquel. So you do get pulled in a lot of different directions.
Mhm.
So one, have you hired a VA for yourself? Right.
So,
For
so,
your businesses.
so yes and no. So for my coaching business, it's just myself doing that. And then with the connecting of the VAs and the clients, so work with the VA is what that business is called. That I do by myself. But my actual virtual assistance work is with me with myself and three other moms. So that part of the business, yes, it's not just me, but the other two is just me for the time being.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then how do you best and then also you have your faith, right? As well. So you have
Yes.
your faith, family, friends. We have self-care and then which is the working out and whatever else you like to do and then your businesses, right?
Mhm.
And so you're pulled in a lot of different directions. What do you think are ways that when you find that you're getting pulled and things are kind of like having a chaotic day, like that brings you back to like a center of peace and kind of back to like, okay, I can handle this instead of being,
Yeah.
yeah, crazy.
And and that happens. It happens so much. I actually put a sign in my office to tell me to breathe. Um, so I think my number one thing to actually calm me down, it might sound cliche, but it's actually my son. Um, when he's obviously not sleeping. Um, so for me, it's just sitting with him, leaving my phone out of sight, and just spending the time with him, forgetting everything else, because everything else can wait. As long as there's obviously not an emergency, nobody's dying, there's no fire happening, anything like that. And I just sit and I just concentrate on spending time with my son, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. And then once I've calmed down, then then I can tackle the chaos.
I can appreciate that because my goddaughter is amazing. And then sometimes if I'm feeling a little anxious or whatever, I can just look at her picture and then it just puts a smile on
Yeah.
my face.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've got a an automatic photo frame on my desk as well. So there's so many photos from like when he was born and how he is now, and it's just like 5-10 seconds of looking at the photos. Then I'm like, okay, breathe, don't get overwhelmed. We start from point one, and then we go through the list. So that's my quiet time.
What do you think are probably like the top three tools that you use to help you stay organized and centered?
So my first one is Toggle. I still track all my time, whether it's personal tasks or business related tasks. And then I use Monday.com as my project management tool. And then I use my Google Calendar. So everything goes in there. Again, business or personal. And then the same with Monday as well. I have everything business related and personal things as well. So those are the top three that I use.
Okay. I've seen like big billboards for Monday
Yes,
on the highway, and it's like
yeah,
"Don't be a Monday" or whatever their
yes.
tagline is, or something like that. But that's kind of cool. But I've never met anybody that actually used it, so it works really well.
It does. It does. It's I think you and I used Trello back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
There's so much more to Monday. It's for me, it's a lot more organized. There's automations that you can add in there, and you can connect a whole bunch of third-party applications as well. And there's certain apps that you can pay for as well within Monday. So they've got like their own marketplace as well in there. So it's essentially like Google Sheets, but just so much more. So much more.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And then you use Google. Do you ever use like a written planner at all or like a desk calendar to highlight certain dates at all or
No,
no?
no.
You
For
keep everything
me,
digital.
yeah, it's easier. And I think it's because, let me actually show you. I think it's because my son has been scribbling in all my notebooks, but let me show you what it looks like. So I can't even see my
Yeah.
notes anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 21 months. He's
Oh,
almost
okay.
two.
He's
Yeah,
almost 2. Wow.
yeah.
That's
In November.
great.
It's crazy.
That's exciting. So
Yeah.
the next time you come to the States, are you going to bring him with you?
I will. I think it's also we didn't want to really go this year. I think particularly because of his age and having a toddler on the plane for so long because it was a 19-hour flight direct, and I was like, no, it's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy. So when he's a bit older, yes, yes,
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Yeah. Especially not at 2 years old because he'll be
yeah,
jump all over the place. And
yeah,
19. Wow. Wow.
yeah.
19 hours?
Yep, it was
Wow.
crazy.
How long did it take you to like regroup your sleep and stuff like that when you got back to South Africa?
So when we landed in Atlanta, the time difference from here to there wasn't too bad, but coming back was a little bit worse. For me, I think it was a few days. I know the team members that I went with took them a little bit longer because
Mm,
one of them is a complete morning person, and then two of the other team members they were more night owls, so it wasn't too bad for them. Um, but for my team member that's a morning person, she struggled. She really did. But for me, it was just a few days. It wasn't too bad.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the worst that I do is 3 hours so of a
yeah,
time zone.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's going to the West Coast when I head over to
Mhm.
California and stuff like that. So that's exciting. So tell us about like your training course. Like, what is that about? And how, when you got started with that, you put a course together. Tell me about that.
So it essentially covers absolutely everything. I start with the very basics of things like why you want to be a virtual assistant. Um, and then you also look at what you're currently doing and then what you want to do. And then we look at your skills, your work experience, things like that. And then from there, we package the services that you'll be offering as a virtual assistant. Once you've got that, you work out your pricing, you go through all the legal things like putting a contract together, and then we start on the marketing side of your VA business. So that would be how to reach out to potential clients, what to say to them, how to reach out to family and friends. And then once you actually land a client, what you do when you start working with them. So things like putting a welcome pack together so that the client knows what to expect. Obviously, sending the agreement to the client, and then the types of platforms that you would need to use while you have your VA business. So things like Monday, things like Toggle. If you're going to be doing email marketing, we go through all of that. So I give all the students that come through my course, I give them all these different platforms that they can. I don't choose platforms for them. I give them recommendations of the ones that they could use or should use,
Mm-hmm.
and then so we go through all of that in the course. and then I give them extra resources as well. I do also have a WhatsApp support group with all the students. So if I come across a client that is looking for a VA, I drop it in there for them. If they're stuck with any questions, if they feel like they didn't do well with the discovery call, then we'll go through that with each other. And then obviously everyone else in the group can learn from that. And there's been great success stories out of it. And like I said earlier, that's what fuels me. Them being successful is what fuels me. I'm not in this for myself. I'm in it to help moms improve their lives.
I lost you. Oh, there you are.
I'm back.
Okay.
So I'm in it to improve moms' lives, not just my life, but for moms as well, for other moms.
It's kind of cool that you targeted like busy moms before you became a mom. And then you got to fill that role yourself, which is a blessing. Praise God on that. It's exciting. So
definitely is.
So it's interesting to have seen how like the past, I guess, 8 to 10 years has
Thank
progressed. And so that's awesome. I'm so happy for you, Bianca.
you.
So
Thank
yeah.
you. And thank you, Jacqueline, for being a cheerleader for me and for pushing me to do more.
Yeah. I wanted to do less. So I was like, here
well,
you
that's
go.
good. That's good because that taught me to do not just to do more, but to learn more, to push boundaries that I didn't know were there. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you never said no. You were like, okay. And then I guess you just
Yeah.
figure it out on the back end. But like on the front end, I was like, she didn't say no. So like, but the one thing that I did not like that, like when you would help book for like meetings and stuff like that. And then if people got snippy with you or whatever, I did not like that. So then I would push back at them and cut them off. I'd be like, no.
Yeah, I remember.
Because I just really appreciated having all your help and stuff like that and everything that you did for me. And didn't want anybody to feel like it was okay for them to be disrespectful.
Yeah. And on that point, I've learned to stand my ground as well.
That's
quite
good.
a bit. And I think it comes with the years of going through or dealing with people like you were saying now, and just not taking no for an answer. And it's like I said earlier as well with clients and VAs, just be kind. I mean, you don't know what the person's going through. There's no reason to be snarky, and just be a decent human. That's all. Yeah.
Be kind. Let people know that you are loved, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, okay, that's exciting. So, what is the like ideal person that you've seen succeed as a virtual assistant? What would be like that ideal person? And do you just help people in South Africa, or like who are the students as well?
So for me, it is I'm only working with South Africans to teach them to start their own VA business, purely because I know the South African law, and there's so many different laws in each different state in the US that I'm not even going to try. So I would rather stick with what I know. And the type of person I would say is somebody that's willing to learn, like what you said. I never said no. I never said no. And it's because I wanted to do it. So it's somebody that's willing to learn, somebody that's got a service attitude, somebody that's tenacious, somebody that doesn't mind doing the nitty-gritty things, because they see the bigger picture. The type of person that it won't work for is somebody that doesn't have the patience to work in their own business, and somebody that can't work from home. So just a quick funny story. During COVID, my sister is a primary school teacher, and she could obviously not go to work because it was COVID. And she wanted to start doing the whole VA thing as well. And she struggled to work while she was at home because she told me, home is for home. Home is for relaxation. You can't work when you're at home. And I was like, well, that's okay. It's not for everybody. So for my sister, she has to go to a physical building to work, and then as soon as she gets home, it's no work. It's just play. So I would say that those are the two biggest things that the VA industry won't work for.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I hate driving into an office, and I love like working in my bedroom by
Mm-hmm.
myself, away from everybody, so I can concentrate and focus.
Yes.
I've like had way too many notifications going on my phone. I've started shutting all those off because it's so distracting and annoying, and it's just way too much sense, like you get sensory
Sensory overload.
deprivated, yeah, or
Yeah.
sensory overload and stuff like that. It's just too much. So yeah, so I'm thankful to like be here by myself in
Mm-hmm.
my house and stuff like that. And then the people I'll speak with are like either like my virtual assistant, the customers, or the gentleman that is helping me book all the podcasts and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So yeah, so
It makes a person more productive, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about socializing. I just want to get work done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's
So
a time and a place for all of the
there's a time and a
socializing.
place. Yeah.
Not work.
Yeah. So I'm like the type of person that's like, I'd like to hire a dog walker to walk my dog, even though I work at home, just so I'm not to be
Yeah.
bothered with it.
Yeah.
At someday I'll have that. Every once in a while, but anyways, so okay, Bianca, is there any last thing you'd like to share at all, or
Um, well, if there's any business owners that are looking for VAs, they can reach out to me, and I've got a whole, like I said, over 114 VAs. So you can hit me up if you need a VA. And I just want to say thank you, Jacqueline. I know I've said it, but just thinking about these past few years and where I am now, where I started, and the relationship that you and I have. I just want to say thank you. I really do. And I know it may seem like something small, um, but it was a huge impact to my life. So thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad. That's a
Thank you.
blessing. I'm happy that I'm just so proud of you and excited for you. So
Thank
I think I just saw it in you, and I just knew that you could grow and build something great. And I just had that amount of confidence in you, which is why I just referred you out to other people all the time, and just knew that you'd be amazing. So now, if someone wanted to reach you at like
you.
social media, website, like what information do you like to give out?
So my website is work with a va.co.za. It's not .com, it's .co.za. And then my Instagram handle is Bianca, I don't know what you guys say, full stop, period. Bianca period Pearson. So those are the
Dot
two places. Yeah. Whichever.
Bianca dot Pearson,
Yeah.
Bianca period Pearson,
Whichever one.
whichever. So
Yeah.
okay, and Z is Z for the
Yeah.
Americans that don't know that. Okay,
Yeah. Z.
that's probably the proper way that we're supposed to say it. Not Z. It's probably supposed to be Z.
Yeah. That's British. Yeah.
Yeah.
South African's
Yes.
British. Yeah. Yeah.
And we drive on the correct side of the road, by the way. I'm just kidding. Even though I think
It's relative.
it's like us in one other country that does that, but I think, I don't know. So, but all right, Bianca, I have the website is listed in the description, and I can update everything with that. And just thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. You look beautiful, and I'm so excited for you. And I hope you have an amazing day. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Jacqueline. You too.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of You Are Loved. If you have any topic ideas or would like to be a guest on the show, please hit us up on Instagram at youareloved.store.